Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210 District Court criminal docket for July 13, 2023. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, Judge, at the bottom of page 11, Judge, it's, I have Ms. Hernandez here as an interpreter for her, for Mr. Avila, Luis Avila.
Okay. And in terms, is the CSO covering here?
Good
Ms.
morning,
Lerma?
Your Honor.
Okay, perfect.
Adult probation.
There's a lot of boxes, so I wasn't sure who was covering, but okay, let's go ahead and get set up, please.
Ms. Lerma, he's not connected.
He's not connected. Let me go check. He's on my cell phone, Your Honor, in another room. Give me
Okay.
1 second.
Sure, take your
Sorry.
time. Mhm.
Oh, I give her a copy of that. Judge, can you hear?
Yeah.
There you go. There he is.
Let's start if Ms. Lerma knows how to utilize the interpreter function, because he's gonna have to be on Spanish, right?
Yes, Judge.
So let's
Ms.
get it
Lerma.
started.
Yes.
I don't think he knows how to start the,
Let me go check. I know. Interpreter thing. I don't know how to.
Is there an attorney on this case? It used to be Mr. Serrano. and
I
don't-
called his office, Judge, and he said that he's no longer his attorney.
So,
Where-
Myrna,
oh,
we
there we go.
probably need to get, because I think he entered as part of the probation case, so we need to get some notice from his office or just remove him. I would like to see a motion to withdraw if that's what he's done.
Interpreter.
I'll check on that, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Vandenberg.
Good morning.
Okay, I think he's
Are we
ready.
set up?
I think he's ready.
Ms. Lerma, I need you to select English, por favor.
Oh, my goodness. So he's, Your Honor, can you hear me?
I can.
So he's on my cell phone.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether if I have to go back and forth and change it or not.
Okay, so I thought that's what just happened, that you selected Spanish off on your cell phone.
I did.
Okay,
Oh, so I don't know if he's getting it or if he's. Okay,
maybe Ms. Hernandez can renew
Okay.
it.
okay.
Yo soy Ávila.
Seems like we're doing a lot of technical work for what I'm thinking
Sí.
is going to be a very short hearing. Wonderful, okay. And so did we have announcements already?
No, Judge.
Go ahead.
In cause number 2015-030-3205, State of Texas versus Luis Avila. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state, Your Honor, the state is ready.
Monica Lerma, adult probation.
And Mr. Avila is Appearing remotely, utilizing the assistance of a court interpreter, Ms. Patricia Hernandez. We're here for probation status hearing. Ms. Lerma, I always go from the end to the beginning on these case summaries. And it looks like, at least throughout, or since our last review, that he's been doing well and been compliant.
He actually has, Your Honor. It's like a complete turnaround. He's attending his SOTP. He's participating very well, presenting assignments. He had one unexcused absence in December, but I think you had a hearing after that.
We did.
Right. He's reporting as he should, Your Honor. He does have that GPS monitor. I want to say we believe that the turnaround is due to that GPS monitor. We had, I know that I sent you a case summary with a different recommendation, but I got a new one based on my supervisor's rec, and that would be that we are opposed to any early discharge, and that he continue on probation with the GPS monitor, because we do believe that it is helping him.
Right,
with
Mr.
the
Avila, we've been here a few times with your attorney and on different matters, but what I'm seeing here today is in the past 6 months that you've been performing very well on probation. And so for my purposes, Ms. Lerma, unless you all are asking me to come back, I see he terms in 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got 2 years of your probation, Mr. Avila, and I don't want to have any other issues, but I don't see any need to bring you back. And so with that, I'm not going to put any more hearings, any reviews. I'm going to assume you're going to continue to do well. And if you have any issues or any requests, concerns, you will work with probation and they will communicate those to me and we can work through them. So I commend you on having done so well in this year. And unless there's something, Mr. Avila, you need to advise the court of, I'm good to go on this one.
Señora
Yes,
juez,
sir.
señora juez, quería ver si voy a seguir con el monitor o me lo va a retirar.
At this point, I feel like it has resulted in maybe some more positive performance on your part. If you'd like, we can come back in 6 months and I'll review that. For now, I'm going to leave the monitor on.
Gracias.
Okay, so Ms. Lerma, we can come back in 6 months, so probably January 2024, and let's see where we are. We have an issue, I think, with fees and court costs. I don't see those financial. Have we ever done a financial assessment for Mr. Avila?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, but we can get one started. He is behind on the probation fees.
Right, let's look at that, and then if that gets completed sooner than not, if you need to send me a modification due to some type of indigency, send that before we don't have to wait until January to do that.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Anything else, Mr. Avila?
No, gracias.
Have a good day. Thank you, Ms. Lerma. Is that all
Thank
you
you.
have today?
That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Do we need the interpreter for anyone else?
Not to my knowledge, Judge.
Ms. Hernandez, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you. Who's next?
Top of page 9. Mr. Underwood, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Let me bring in his slide.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Mr. Maldonado, hold on a second. I'm going to actually mute you for now, although we can unmute you if we need to. Go ahead.
In cause number 2023-0D01259 State of Texas versus Abraham Maldonado Jr. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg, on behalf of the state is ready.
Justin Underwood on behalf of Mr. Maldonado, we're ready, Judge.
And if memory serves, Mr. Maldonado is appearing remotely. If memory serves, is this involving the vehicle? I think the state was opposed to the vehicle being released. And I had assured council that we would come back in a matter of months because this is something where I think Mr. Underwood, you represented they're paying on that vehicle still. I don't know if it's
Correct.
what the situation is. There any information that has changed? Is there anything new, Mr. Underwood, in terms of your request before I talk to the state?
No, Judge, the vehicle has now been with a hold for 300, not exactly, but it's got to be close to 300 days or 305 days or something like that. The vehicle is a 2022 truck that is financed, and obviously it is still being paid for. So we are asking the court to release that property.
All right, Mr. Vandenberg, have we looked into what's going on here with this truck?
Yes, Your Honor, we have, the police are still waiting to download the infotainment system. It's taking them a while to do that. And there's a download of the airbag control module, which is pending. Those are all important things to see what was the state of the cabin at the time of the crash. We've asked the case agent at the police department about when it will be completed. We have not heard back from the case agent, Your Honor. But there's important information for looking at crash restoration forensics.
What is so difficult about, when did this allegedly occur? Let's go to the events. I mean, if what you're telling me, I don't think I asked at the last hearing what exactly the state still needed the vehicle for. I'm not sure if.
Judge, my understanding in every other case that's ever been handled by myself as a prosecutor or as a defense attorney, they download all of that stuff prior to the cases even being filed. Like, I have many other cases where there's accidents, all of that stuff is included when the case gets filed. So this would be the one exception to the rule, the one time that's never happened.
Let me see. So the date of offense here is June 12th, 2022.
Over a year ago.
A year and a month and a day.
Correct.
So are you telling me that the sole reason you're asking that it remain in PD property is that they need to download things from that vehicle that have not been downloaded yet?
They've been having difficulty doing that, Your Honor. That's the information I've received.
What do you mean difficulty? Have they attempted? Have you told them download this immediately? I mean, how do you all even have the details of your case if
We depend upon the information from the case agent, Your Honor, and that's the information we've received.
okay.
And Judge, just for the court's own clarification, what we have from the police department, vehicle is in storage and on hold, and that's been for 300 days.
Who's working up this case, Mr. Vandenberg? I mean, from your office is what I mean.
Our office,
Mhm.
the DA's office, it's mainly Miss Elizalde is handling the communications with police.
As far as you're aware, that's the sole reason that you all still need the vehicle?
That's what I understand, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna grant the defense motion to restore property based on the representations of the sole reason. I'm not hearing anything else, like there is a physical reason to have that vehicle. But I am going to give them, Mr. Underwood, 30 days. Okay, I'm going to give them 30 days for PD to do what they need to do in terms of downloading that information. It really seems like you're not doing that is putting not only the state, but the defense at a disadvantage. in terms of any information or evidence with respect to this case. So I'm going to give them 30 days to do that. Mr. Underwood, please provide me an order.
Yes, ma'am.
today. We can get that signed up,
Yes, ma'am.
filed. We are the 13th of July.
Correct.
We will have, when's our next setting in this case? We have a status conference. We'll move that status conference to August 15th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And that will be a status conference and follow up on the release of that property. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And Judge, I do believe that there's an order attached to the motion that we filed, but I'll double check and I'll make sure that I send the order over to the court.
What I would like, if you all can do that, is include the language on the 30 days so we have a firm deadline, so no one's unclear about
Sure.
this quickly this needs to get.
Yes, ma'am. I'll change it and I'll send it over.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Mr. Vandenberg. Thank you, Mr. Maldonado. Who's next?
Staying with Mr. Underwood, Judge, let me bring in his other client.
Mhm.
On page 13, middle of page 13, Judge.
Mhm.
And cause number 2021-0D02596, State of Texas versus Frederick Elvis Taylor. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state. State is ready.
Justin Underwood on behalf of Mr. Taylor, Judge, we're ready as well.
And Mr. Bruce here for probation.
Answering my question. Okay, we're here for a probation status summary. Mr. Bruce, can you give me an update, please? I'm pulling up your case summary.
Yes, Your Honor. We had a hearing 5/11 in May, where I had notified the court that Mr. Taylor had registered for BIB. He had been reporting, had done a negative UA on May 9th, and that there was no suspects for the shooting of the foot incident that we had mentioned to the court prior.
Right.
That is where we left off that hearing. After the hearing, Mr. Taylor failed to report for June. He was dropped from BIB due to absences. Also, I had conducted multiple field visits, trying to communicate with the mother to try and reach him at the home because he is still dealing with issues from that shooting in the foot. He's still dealing with swollen feet. He's in and out of the hospital. I believe the mother informed me that he was feeling ill a bit last month. I did ask for documentation. So far, I have not been provided that information. He did send some photos of his injury that he's still dealing with, and that's the reason why he didn't report last month. That he has a hard time getting around. His mother's car was in the shop for some time. He doesn't have anyone that can give him a ride. So when I spoke with him on the 10th, I advised him of this hearing, and then that's when he told me that I had gone on the 12th to do a visit, and like I said, I communicated with the mother to try and get him there so that way he wouldn't have to come to the office to help him out. He told me that after that, he had been removed from the house because they were having some issues, some difficult situations, just mostly financially, but there was just some frustrations in the home, and she felt it was best for him to go somewhere else. He states he was staying with his brother. Now, at the time of the visits in June, I was not aware that he was not staying there. The mom hadn't told me, he hadn't told me. He had texted me a couple times, but I wasn't able to return that. So for now, what we want to do, Your Honor, is try and help him out as far as trying to get him a referral to some clinic to help him see if we can get him looked at, because he informed me earlier this week again that he does not have insurance. So it has been an issue for him to get physical therapy, an issue to get medical appointments, see a doctor to help with the treatment there. So that's where we're at right now. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that would assist with the BIB costs, but the mom has informed me that she will try and help him next month. They were dealing with rent issues, so she was just trying to make sure she was able to pay the rent for the month. So that's where we are at the moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Bruce, can I ask you, because someone mentioned in another hearing, are there different types of BIP? Like are there some that are either like online, less costly, things like that?
Yes, Your Honor. So there's 3 providers that the department's working with. I know a couple do online, one does in person. The prices do range, but that is all controlled by the provider themselves. They do inform the client of that. When they try and register, they let them know what the how the classes work, how much they have to pay, whether it's in person or online. They are informed of that during the intake appointment.
All right, Mr. Underwood, is that all you have, Mr. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Underwood?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just, it sounds like life situations are kind of difficult for your client right now.
They are, Judge.
And the recommendation isn't anything, he doesn't have any new cases. I'm sure he's got a lot on his plate right now, but Mr. Taylor, I still need to keep you on track, okay? And it sounds like Mr. Bruce has been trying to work with you, and the court is willing to work with you in terms of, like, how can I tell you? A lot of times people in your situation just go missing on me, right? They blow everything off. They don't come in. You're here today. In terms of BIP, the court, if we can explore, I don't know which one he'd been enrolled in, if it was very expensive, if it's an issue of finances, I'm not exactly very worried about that right now. Unfortunately, so Mr. Taylor, when you get kicked out of BIP, they don't start you from the beginning again. You don't get credit for what you've done. But what I want to get on track now is his residence, that he maintains reporting. I don't know what health situations he has here. Mr. Bruce, the court is comfortable as long as he provides you some type of proof of, but I think we had received some proof of his injury. That
Yeah, so we were prior shooting. He told me on Monday that he was recently in a car wreck. So I was asking for information on that injury.
I see, Mr. Taylor.
He's muted still.
I know, but he's showing me a scar on or something on his arm.
Yes, he has an injury on the arm. I think he sustained that during that accident.
The recommendation is for him to continue on the DV caseload, re-enroll in BIP, and have an admonishment for not reporting. Mr. Bruce, I'm comfortable if we need to modify the manner in which he reports due to his health concerns. But I also want that verified. In other words, once this doesn't mean to be back on his feet, I want him to comply with the regular conditions of reporting. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so they're also recommending a review in 60 days. I'm good with going maybe 90 days out to see what we can work on. To the extent probation can assist him with resources, places, things that can help him if he's having difficulty finding a place to live. Mr. Taylor, I will say this, you are here, so I'm not thinking you're running on me or anything, but you do need to keep Mr. Bruce informed when you move, okay? And I know life sometimes makes those things just happen out of the blue, right? But Mr. Bruce needs to know where you are at all times, because the second he can't find you, even if it's, just because you're going through a lot, is the second he's going to tell me I can't find him and I'm going to issue a bench warrant. Okay. And you're muted, so I can't hear you, but I see you acknowledging. So
there you go.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm good with a 90-day probation status, Mr. Underwood. Okay. I know Mr. Bruce is very good at communicating with the court if he sees something that is not cool. So
I'm sorry, ma'am. It's because my son, he keep touching stuff and yelling.
No, you take care of your little one and yourself, but I need you to just work with Mr. Bruce to make sure you're still on track. Mr. Bruce, we will keep an eye on what options we have for BIP. If it really becomes an issue and he's doing well, maybe we look at something like anger management, something that is less onerous than BIP. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
But we'll keep it like that for now. Mr. Taylor, do your best. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do your best and stay in touch with probation.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Taylor, do me a favor, call my office and just give my staff an update with your current contact information. I know the phone and everything works, but I just want to make sure we have a way to communicate with you if we need to.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. If there's nothing further, thank you, Mr. Bruce. I appreciate the info.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You may.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Take care, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's next?
Page 9, Judge, Mr. DeCotes, are you there?
I am here. Thank you.
In cause number 2021-0D01222 and 2023-0D01664, State of Texas versus Michael Allen Martinez. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state is ready.
Carl DeCotes for Michael Martinez is ready.
And Mr. Martinez is in custody. We're here for a probation status hearing and 2801s. Did you have 2801s, 2801 motions, Mr. DeCotes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. What's the reckon with the new case, Mr. Vandenberg?
10 TDC,
I'm sorry?
10 TDC.
Okay. Mr. DeCotes, is that a new rec, old rec?
I think that's been the wreck, Your Honor. We're hoping to get it down. He's in some trouble and he's
Okay.
gonna have to take something.
Okay. Well, I feel comfortable and I reviewed the case summary that we're just tracking the new case.
Yep.
So we'll see you all at the next setting. Ms. Duran, did you have anything other than the case summary?
I Judge, no, it was just a case summary that just popped on in case you had any questions.
Okay, no, I think we're good. We have the MTR filed. You know, there's a recommendation here to screen
Right.
a certain caseload, but
Safety would be nice. Whatever.
okay. Well, you and Mr. Vandenberg can talk about that. Thank
We
you very
will.
much.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Take care. Who's next?
Up on page 13, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2016-0D03870, State of Texas versus Adrian Munoz. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state is ready.
Mario Gonzalez on behalf of the defense is ready.
Lizette Reasa for adult probation.
Good morning, and Mr. Munoz is appearing remotely as well. Let me see the case summary. Mr. Asa, you want to give me an update?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Munoz has completed everything. However, he got arrested for DWI in April. So we were recommending that he obtain a portable unit, an alcohol monitoring unit. And then you said you were going to set up in 60 days to see the DWI outcome. The case has been filed in CC2, the new case, but there was a court hearing back in July 5th, and I don't see any further hearings being scheduled.
Is Mr. Gonzalez, you're representing him on the misdemeanor?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Does he have a
And-
monitor?
God, I wish I could honestly answer it. I'm almost certain yes, but I don't want to represent to the court that I know for a fact that he's got it.
Let
But-
me see if I can look up that misdemeanor cause number. I'm inclined to, because to be, I know we discussed it, but honestly, Mr. Munoz, it's I'm not gonna say a miracle, but it was very likely that we would have just issued a
Right.
bench warrant with the new arrest. So,
I got the cost number for you, Judge, if you'd like.
oh, that would be great.
It's
Because honestly, it's slow.
2023 0Z0 2623.
I'll speed it up. I don't think he does.
I'm on Zoom.
Huh?
I'm on Zoom.
Is Dolores not coming?
Yeah, she'll be here.
Flash bond, that's all I see. Yeah, he doesn't have a monitor. It was a 0.10 and it's a first. That's why they don't need it. Mr. Gonzalez, what's going on with that DWI?
Sorry, I didn't know it was muted. That is Daniel Morales, I guess, is a DA in that case.
Mhm.
And I did talk to him about this, and what he had told me when we went to court earlier this month is that he was going to talk with he would try to talk with the felony DA so that we can move forward. Because I said, look, if you're recommending anything, it's going to be impossible to work it out because they're asking for probation. I said, but for a year. And I said, well, it may be something that we can do better than that under the circumstances, but we want to make sure that it's not going to affect his probation on the felony case. And if it doesn't affect it, then we could move forward on that. But he was going to check with the felony prosecutor judge.
So for my purposes, I can only think the reason that I had not proceeded on the bench warrant is that I was intending to run whatever probation he was doing on the DWI concurrent here.
Okay.
I'm inclined to have him to modify his probation now to have an interlock device. You have a valid driver's license, Mr. Munoz?
It's suspended right now.
It is. So he shouldn't be driving. The modification, Mr. Alyssa, will be that he may not operate a motor vehicle without an interlock. So he doesn't have a valid driver's license, Mr. Gonzalez, so he's not supposed to be driving. So I'm understanding that he's not driving, right?
Correct. Yes.
The second he does start driving, he cannot have operate a vehicle without an interlock. So that means he probably doesn't have to get the interlock right away, just when he leaves his vehicle. And Mr. Munoz, if you are driving without a license and you don't have that monitor, that is going to be a violation of this probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But Mr. Gonzalez, in terms of this new case, I just assume it run concurrent. And with that modification, Mr. Asa, as long as you're following up and ensuring, I mean, running for tickets, all that kind of business, everybody says they're not driving and then lo and behold, if you do that periodically, then we can just continue him on our probation. Has there been a motion filed here?
Let me see.
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
There's no more.
Perfect. I really don't need to see Mr. Munoz back. Mr. Gonzalez can just go take care of the DWI, do whatever they need to do over there.
Okay.
If that DWI goes away, Mr. Gonzalez, and he has issues with that condition, come back and talk to us about it.
Okay, I will, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Mr. Asa, was there anything else?
No, Your Honor, I'll be submitting the modifications.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day, Judge.
You too. Take care. What's next?
Staying on page 13, Judge. In cause number 2023 DCV 2017, ex parte Carlos Enrique Lara, announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state.
Good morning where you are, Your Honor. Jeep Darnell for Carlos Lara.
Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to pull up your request. You want to tell me a little bit about that, Mr. Darnell?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lara lives in Texas, but was arrested and convicted for a DWI in New Mexico.
Mhm.
And New Mexico then suspended his license, which Texas complied with. And so he is not permitted to drive right now because of a New Mexico suspension. However, he is a Border Patrol agent and must drive for work. And if he doesn't have a valid license, he could be terminated.
Okay, so what are we talking about? He's in the El Paso area. Where does he need to drive?
He needs to drive yes, he is in the El Paso area. He resides in Conatillo. He works out of and I'm sorry, I thought this hearing got moved and I'm on vacation, so I'm doing this from memory, but my recollection is he is based out of the Sunland Park, the Deming sector. Is that correct, Mr. Lara? Or are you out of the El Paso sector?
So you
Okay,
need to
that-
unmute. I don't know what he's saying. I mean, he's saying no, but I don't know what he's saying.
El Paso
He's out of
Station.
the El Paso sector. So it's,
Okay.
it would all be here locally. But the primary purpose is he has to have a valid license to operate a motor vehicle owned by CBP.
I see your proposed order. I'm good with that, but let me go back. I'm looking at this all on Odyssey, and that takes a minute. I'm assuming we have, I'm not gonna assume, but Mr. Darnell, you provided the insurance and the
Yes,
driving
ma'am.
record.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's the order. Let's see. There it is. Okay, there's the insurance. Alrighty. I have your order, your proposed order. So, Mr. Vandenberg, do you have any input here? Are you
No,
seeing anything in terms of anything that's outside of what I'm seeing on his driving record?
No, Your Honor, I have not seen anything outside of that.
Okay, so that will be granted. I'll go ahead and sign the order and get that filed with the papers of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Lotto.
May I
Thank
be
you.
excused, Your Honor?
You may have a good vacation.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Towards the bottom of page 12, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2022-0D02012, State of Texas versus Benjamin Enriquez. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state.
Rick Huffman on behalf of Mr. Enriquez.
Ramon Huerta with the Adult Probation Department.
Hey, Mr. Enriquez, I need you to turn on your camera, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, my miss.
Sure. That'll give me a second to pull up this report. Thank you, Mr. Enriquez. Mr. Huerta, you have an update for me?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, on the case summary that we submitted earlier this week, I had gotten in contact again with that information we received was from one of the supervisors from Aliviane, but I did contact his actual counselor, and she did inform me that he is in compliance at this time, and that she's the one that changed his group sessions so he could while he was at work, and now he's doing group sessions 2 times a week and attending his individual. And she has been working with him, and there's no compliance issues to report by the counselor at this time.
That's good to hear, Mr. Enriquez. How are you doing?
Good so far, man. I'm trying to keep my head up and keep going forward, looking for a new job at the moment.
Okay. It looks like they were tailoring some of this treatment because of your work schedule.
Yes,
So
ma'am, that's
what
why,
happened? You lost your job?
Well, now something happened in the company that they let all the workers go.
Okay. Yeah, that can
So right
happen.
now, I got a roofing company, but I'm trying to look into like being in the, since it's so hot outside, I'm trying to get like a restaurant job or like something, you know?
Okay.
So I could
Well,
be
maybe
good.
probation can help you, maybe give you some referrals in terms of employment searches and things of that nature. I need you to not get off track though, because I know it's hard, but you're doing all right. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it. I won't get off track. Appreciate it.
Mr. Huffman, anything for the court?
There.
Mr. Huerta, will you be able to look into maybe if now we have some employment things? It seems like he's really putting in some effort here.
Yes, Your Honor. Why on Monday, I provided him with the information for the El Paso Borderplex initiative, helps, for employment and such. So he has that information. And also he did provide a UA. He reported on Monday, and then on Tuesday, he provided a UA, which was negative, just to inform the court.
Okay. Because of the financial considerations, I want to go ahead and modify him. If we haven't already adjusted his probation fees to $25 retro, we do that. And then I'm going to waive the fine and court costs. So Mr. Enriquez, I'm very sensitive to folks who are, are doing their best to, like you said, kind of keep your head above water. And so I'm going to waive those financial conditions of your bond, and they're going to go back and look at your probation fees and maybe reduce those so that you're not so far, you're not that far in the hole, but certainly if you're having trouble finding work, that's an issue, okay? So
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Huerta, if you'll get me those modifications, I do want to see him back in 6 months. Okay, Mr. Enriquez, I don't want you to think that this is like, just me trying to be a jerk with you or whatever. I just want to make sure we don't lose you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. See you back in 6 months, you said?
Yes, sir. You
Yes,
stay in
ma'am.
touch with your probation officer and do all that treatment that you need. And if something comes up, Mr. Huerta, that he needs to make a request to the court, just feel free to schedule a hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
Judge,
Yes,
I
sir.
had a question.
Yes, sir.
This recent, but I don't know if they left 30, well, on Wednesday, no, Tuesday afternoon. The guy that was working with me in the company, he has his own like separate job, and him and his brother invited me to go work in a company to out of town, but we'll be coming back every 15 days. But I told him I don't know, I have to ask you.
So here's what I do when my probationers need to work out of town. What I am going to tell your probation officer is if they have a job or something that they're going to, even if it's like temporary employment, I want to know the specifics. So if they're saying we're going to Odessa and we got to work there for, I don't know, 10 days, I'm not real psyched about you leaving for long periods of time, because I feel that will interrupt with your treatment. But I
Yes,
also
ma'am.
know you got to make a living. So what I'm gonna require before I allow you to do that is proof. So,
All right,
something on a letterhead, something that Mr. Huerta can verify about the nature of what that job is, and then
Yes.
I'll let you know. So when are you thinking that's gonna happen?
Oh, I'm not. They were gonna leave this week, but I told them if they can't wait, they could leave. But I wanted to confirm and ask you first, and then ask my probation officer.
If he gets all those specifics to you, Mr. Huerta, you turn those around to me right away. And if
Yes,
he's
Your Honor.
able to make that and I'm okay with it, here's my problem, Mr. Enriquez. I think the treatment is something that you need to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
doing consistently. So if it's not this time around that you go, but like a month from now, they have another job, then the responsibility is on you, working with probation, working with Aliviane, it seems like they've worked on scheduling you treatment, that you
Yeah,
continue to do that. But Mr. Huerta, we're gonna need to continue testing. I don't want you thinking you're out of town and all of a sudden you forget you're on probation and you have a big party, right?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm done with drugs in general, ma'am. That's
All right.
genuinely, I'm done with them.
Your
All right.
Honor, he's
Mhm.
scheduled to, by Aliviane to finish his treatment, I believe by, August or into September, depending on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But if an opportunity comes up, just know those are the details I want to know. And I
Yes,
won't
ma'am.
hesitate if it's okay to do, I won't hesitate to allow you to leave, but I got to make sure we're legit. You know what I mean? Like that we're not going over there and just hanging out with friends.
Yes,
You know what I'm
ma'am.
saying? All right. All right. Okay. So Mr. Huerta, we'll come back in 60 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Enriquez, anything else?
No, ma'am, that'll be it.
Okay. Have a good one. Take care.
Thank you, likewise.
All right. Who's next?
Bottom of page 12, Judge. Because number 2023 0D01195, State of Texas versus Felix Luis Garcia. Announcement of council, please.
Excuse me, David Vandenberg on behalf of the state.
Rick Kaufman on behalf of Mr. Garcia.
He's in custody?
He is, Your Honor.
What's
He
going
was
on?
arrested about, there was a warrant issued after the last hearing. I think it was because he missed the check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And the court issued a warrant and then he got picked up on the warrant. We had filed a motion to recall the capias, I think a day after the warrant came out. Mr. Garcia has been in contact with me. He's in high school. Well, I'm sorry, he just graduated high school, and he and his mom have been in constant contact. And I think what had happened was he was in school, and there was a misunderstanding on the checking in.
So let me ask, Mr. Marufo, I need to look back at this gentleman, Felix Luis Garcia. We had him down for an arraignment March 30th, judges conference March 4th. And then pre-trial 28/01/6/22. What I want to know is, did he miss all of them? Did he just miss one? What are we talking about here? While we wait for that, Mr. Vandenberg, have you all, what are we talking, what's going on with this case?
Well, in terms of the recommendation with this one, excuse me, it's 8 deferred, $1,000 fine, 258 hours community service, UABAs. Forfeit the weapon that was used in the offense, curfew, standard terms and conditions.
He's got some history,
Yeah,
right?
it does have some history.
That I don't think he has any adult convictions, if that's what the court is asking.
He doesn't have any convictions, that's correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And he does have some pending cases, Judge. He has I think three pending cases, like two gun charges and one car accident. That's my understanding.
That is correct, as Mr. Hopkins says.
He is in high school, Judge. He lives with his mom. I think his mom's actually on the call.
Who is it?
It's
Yolando Garcia?
yes, ma'am.
He has 3 pending cases, these two charges: unlawful carrying of a weapon, prohibited at certain places, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 or 1B, misdemeanor duty on striking a fixture on a highway landscape, $200, and a unlawful carrying of a weapon. These most recent ones happened in April.
Your Honor, he's been in contact with me, and as soon as the warrant came out, we had made attempts to sort it out. We're in the process of him getting mitigation letters, and I've got a letter from his the officer at his school where he graduated from. It's a really nice letter. I'm still waiting on some other stuff from him to try to get to the prosecutors. He is a young guy, and he's got no criminal convictions. So we're hoping that the court would consider letting him out, and so he could go back home. Possibly has a job. I told him it's probably not a good idea to go to Odessa. He's got one lined up in Odessa to work in the oil fields, but I told him that's probably not a good idea. So he does have a job here, possible construction job. He graduated high school in June, so he's just kind of starting his life, Judge.
Has he had any issues on the misdemeanor reporting over there? I haven't looked at that case. 2023 0C02702.
Okay, let me look that up.
2702.
I don't think we've even been to that court, Judge, to be honest.
No, I don't see one here. So we got you only had your arraignment. You don't have a pretrial until August 9th. Mr. Manufo, what's the result on the
Judge, on March 30th and May 4th, he did check in. He missed his last pre-trials on 6/22.
Okay, so that's the only date. Mr. Vandenberg, what's your position on the motion to recall?
If he has gainful employment, that would be good, but it should be locally. If it's going to go out Odessa, that's a concern. It's a There's a lot of problems happening up in Odessa and Midland these days.
What was his original bond, Mr. Huffman? Was it just a surety bond or was he on PR? What was it?
I want to say it was a surety bond, Your Honor, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grant your request. Let me go back and see what his bond was. Yeah, he had a $5,000 cash surety bond. All right, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and grant your request and reinstate the $5,000 bond. Looks like it was 5,000, maybe 8,000. In any event, it'll be reinstated. It should be. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna put him on a $10,000 PR bond is what we're gonna do. He's gonna report monthly. He may not possess any weapons or ammunition. Curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Subject to testing, to use no illegal drug or alcohol. Let's see. What was the location where he was carrying the weapon?
One of them was his high school, allegedly.
Okay.
And the other one, I don't.
Does he, he's done with high school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he is not to go onto the campus. What school is it?
His mom would remember.
Can you see that in the?
It's in Clint.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so may not go within 100 yards or 100 yards of the location of the incident. I'm assuming there's no co-defendants. That's good. That's good. Remain in El Paso County, may not change his place of residence without court permission, okay?
Sure.
Sorry, Ms. Melendez, I'm going back and forth on you for you here, but
That's okay. Thank you, Judge.
ask me if you have any questions. All right. All right. If you provided a proposed order, Mr. Huffman, just forward it via email so I can look at it.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't believe, I
much.
don't know if I have, but I will prepare one.
Thank you very much. All right, who's next?
Top of page 12, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2022-0D02735 and 2022-0D01672 and 2021-0D03120, State of Texas versus Angelo Jose Owens. Announcement of council, please.
David Vandenberg on behalf of the state. State is ready.
Rick Huffman on behalf of Mr. Owings, we are ready. Well, Judge, I don't believe Mr. Owings is present, and I have not been able to contact him. And I think there's a warrant as well.
Chris, ready? Let me go back. I was looking at the case summary.
There are the 3 bench warrants are active already, Judge. He hasn't reported.
All right, so we lost Mr. Owings. Sounds good.
Hopefully I'll track him down, Your Honor.
Good luck.